Aloha everybody, my name is Rob Kay. Welcome to On Target Hawaii. This segment is part one of what I'm calling our VEPR conversion series. We're going to look at a stock, sporterized 7.62 by 3.9 VEPR and see how we can change it into a really customized rifle. And we're going to begin that journey by changing out the trigger. However, before we change out anything, we're going to make sure that this rifle is safe. Certainly appears to be safe. Now, why change out the trigger? Well, the stock trigger is actually pretty good, but if you're really finicky like me, you're going to want something better. Now, fortunately, there are products out there that are better. What we chose to look at is the brand new adjustable AK trigger system from a company called Red Star Arms, and they're out of Columbia, Missouri. Why did we choose them? Well, we saw a lot of positive comments on forums about this particular product and decided it was well worth a look. It's priced at about $100. It's made 100% from solid steel bar stock in the USA. Now, let's see what went down. Stay tuned.
Red Star Arms is just as famous for its pretty girls as its quality parts. Power Custom, which owns Red Star Arms, is a family-run business founded in 1959 by Ron Power. An innovator, his company specializes in custom parts and accessories for gunsmiths and competitive shooters. Red Star provides no less than 3 pages of documentation for the AK trigger. If you have a VEPR, this install will involve whacking away part of the cam on the safety lever in order to clear space around the disconnector. You can see in this shot how the cam butts right up against the disconnector. That excess needs to be filed away. So grind away we did. In fact, we took off a lot more of the cam than the diagram indicated we should. However, we needed to do it in order to make the safety work. We ended up fitting it all right, but still had a problem. The trigger would drop, but would not hand off to the second sear. We did everything we could to adjust the 3-screw settings, but couldn't figure it out. We went back to Randall Power Custom, who suggested we do some additional filing under one of the sears. Filing trigger parts was a bit more than we bargained for. We decided at that point we needed our local pro to advise us. Brian Takaba of X-Ring Security is one of the best gunsmiths in the Aloha State. It took him only a few minutes to assess the situation. He filed away underneath the sear, as Randall suggested, which allowed for more play, and what do you know? He got it to work in about 10 minutes. So I asked him,
What was happening, and could you explain how you fixed it?
Okay, what was happening was on the reset during the handoff, when you let the trigger go, it was not handing off to the other sear, so it was slipping, which would fire the gun. So what we did was we filed the underside of that sear, allowing the rear sear to rotate more forward. So now it properly catches, hands off, and then fires. So after the round is fired, the bolt will come back, throw the hammer back to that sear. When you release the trigger, it hands off to the other sear, and then fires.
So what's the conclusion? Well, getting this trigger properly set up took some work. In fact, it took a little gunsmithing. If you're expecting a drop-in type of trigger like a Timney or some of the other manufacturers that make similar triggers for an AR, the Red Star may not be the ticket for you. It's not that it's all that difficult. In fact, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that show you how to install an AK type of trigger, and they're pretty good. However, the caveat is getting this thing fit properly and to actually function properly might take a little bit of effort and perhaps a little bit of gunsmithing. Every AK variant is a little bit different. It's not like an AR, which is more like an erector set. For starters, the VEPR is going to entail filing down the safety, the cam on the safety, and so you're going to have to expect to do that to get it to fit right, to get it to fit actually next to the disconnector. The main problem we had was getting the trigger to work properly. Randall Power of Power Custom said that they've had several instances like ours where the sear had to be filed down a bit, and so what they've done is actually change the specs on this particular part, and so that it shouldn't be an issue in the future. And what about the functionality of the trigger? Well, compared to the stock VEPR trigger, it's light years better. The shape is different, it's a little beefier, but the ergonomics are good. You can see in this photo the differences between the stock trigger, which is on the left, and the Red Star trigger on the right. There are 4 adjustment screws, so you can really customize it to your own needs. Of course, you're going to have to Loctite the screws, but the kit comes with some. The screw adjustments can be set as a 1 or 2 stage trigger. It's very smooth, and I've set it with a little bit of travel, so you get to the point of some resistance and it breaks very predictably. The bottom line, if you appreciate a good trigger and don't mind doing a little gunsmithing, you're going to really love this Red Star trigger. Aloha.